Hi guys, I am back with another movie that I just saw. I will credit seeing this movie to Stunt Brat, 77 Smith, who insisted that I watch this movie. It is actually a pleasure to say that I have recently seen Real Genius. It's fun. It reminds me a lot of Once Bitten and a few other movies in that particular genre, like Weird Science. Not the movie you would think, okay, 1985, big movie, which one is it? You wouldn't necessarily think of Real Genius, but it is definitely one of those movies that when you do see it, you're like, yeah, that movie, that movie. And so, yes, I have never seen this movie, so it was really great to finally see it for the first time. Reminds me of being a little, a kid again and dreaming of becoming a college student. It's very much talks about college life and so on. It stars Val Kilmer, one of the main characters in this. His name is Chris Knight in this, and he is a genius. And he's going to this private school in which he is, at the college level. Went there when he was very young, has gone through the training, and is going to eventually graduate. And that's what he's looking forward to because he wants out of this uptight place. When he first got to this college, though, he was very much on board, but he changed over time. He became much looser, much more fun. We have this character here who is really the center of the story. His name is Mitch Taylor, and he is the protagonist, if you will, but he kind of shares the role with Chris. Chris and Mitch are roommates in this college setting, and they have to work together on a project. Now, before the movie even starts, there is this incredible setup for this project that these kids are going to be working on. It's done through the government, and then there's another layer underneath where it's just some guys who are looking for funding for their program. Jerry Hathaway, he's running this program. He's trying to create a laser that could potentially wipe out a target from up in the skies, and poof, that person is gone. They are working on this very dangerous weapon, but I don't even think that Jerry actually knows how dangerous this weapon could be. He doesn't really know, but the government people that he's working with are very ruthless, and they intend to use it for very nefarious purposes. And so there's a lot of pressure on Jerry. Get this project done. Get this machine made immediately, or we're going to cut your funding and we're going to make your life miserable, so on and so forth. So he's on edge. He is trying to get his students to complete the project. And so this young man, Mitch, has a lot of promise. There's a science fair that the movie starts out with him in it, and he wins the science fair to do with a laser as well. So this is right up his alley. Jerry snatches him up and puts him in his private program within the college that he is a professor at. It is a little bit of a deep premise here. We have to go through all of that before we get to the fun part, which is all of the shenanigans that happen in between. Once he gets to the school, he's such a sweet boy, Mitch. He's a darling. He wants to impress everyone. His mom and his dad, they're really proud of him, and they really want him to be in this program. It is more than just him that's involved with this, but his family too. When he gets there, he's also trying to impress the people around him, and he gets there and he's wearing suits and ties to college, and the guys are like, no, what are you talking about? We wear t-shirts, and trying to get him to loosen up a little bit. He's been very sheltered for most of his life, so you really see that, and he's such a darling. You just want to give him a big hug throughout the whole thing, because it's not that he's goes through anything bad, it's just he's so sweet, and you just want to help him out in any way possible. Chris Knight wants to have fun. There's a very important emphasis on having fun while you're doing the thing that you're doing. And look, I mean, he's just enjoying himself immensely. And he's got like dooley doos on his head. He's got weird T-shirts, and he's just having fun. And he's very attractive. Lots of young ladies are like throwing themselves at him practically. And so, yes, he's definitely having a great time and kind of showing Mitch how to have fun, how to loosen up and have fun. Look at that smirk on his face. He's just oh my goodness. And this is like, prime Val Kilmer in the days of, he was just so wonderful at playing these very lighthearted roles. And he's so great at comedy. It's just really great. He had such great charm to his performances. And so, this character is called Laslo Holyfield. He used to be top man on campus way back in the day. He just kind of went a little bit cuckoo. And so now he just walks in and out of Chris and Mitch's room and disappears into the closet. Well, one night, Mitch follows him into the closet. It turns out that the closet has a secret door and there's a basement and he has a whole lab down there. It's really cool. I was like, "Ooh, what's going on here?" I love that kind of storytelling. This guy is seeing the whole progression of these kids turn over in this program, and they all get burnt out. They all get burnt out. So he's watching all this because he was one of them. And so, little bit by little throughout the story, he opens up a little bit more and more, and he gets to be part of what they're all doing. Mitch and Chris make a fantastic team, and they actually make some headway on this laser program or this laser project. We have Jerry. If you notice, Jerry's William Atherton is the guy that plays a lot of mean characters, and one of them happens to be the one that he played in Ghostbusters in 1984, a year earlier. Like anytime you see him in a movie, you know he's going to be playing the bad guy or a very interesting good guy. So I was very surprised to see him in this, and was not surprised when you learn of his personality traits. And he let's just put it like this: he's not the worst guy in the world. He's just a very, very self-centered, selfish, and is willing to do whatever it takes, including hurt a lot of people, in order to get what he wants. But he's not, evil, but he does some bad things. This young man that's next to him, I actually, he was in so many movies that he also played bad guys typically. And his name is Robert Prescott, the actual actor. But in the movie, he plays the character of Kent. He wants to be the smartest guy in the room. He wants to be Jerry. He wants to be him so bad, and he wants to be able to like pull the strings and call the shot, but he's just not smart enough. He doesn't have the academic to compete with Chris or Laslo or Mitch. He's not that step above. I think he can follow them very closely, but I don't think he has the chops to actually supersede them or even be on their level. They're always goofing around. He's like super serious about this. He wants to get ahead, but he just does not have the acumen for it. And he just is too busy, I would say, plotting bad things against people. This character comes up with a lot of little ploys and little things to destroy or to dismantle the trust between Jerry, Mitch, and Chris. So he's really having out for these guys, to the point of even destroying the laser at some point. Very, very naughty boy. But he, a little bit of revenge is always fun in a lot of these movies to characters like this, because they always make them rue the day that they ever messed with the good guys. There is a love interest in the story. The character's being played by Michelle Mayring, and the character's name is Jordan. Jordan is a very bubbly, talkative, fun, but also very, very smart young lady who really gets the attention of Mitch, and Mitch is really into her too. So there's a lot of mutual desire from both of them on the part of each other, and it was actually kind of nice to see just that. There was an incident where a lady makes a move on Mitch. He goes to Jordan and he says, "Hey, Jordan, a lady just came on to me, and she's like feeling upset." And she's like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, but I really wanted it to be you." I was like, "Oh, that's cute. That's a nice way to turn things around." And so from there on out, they actually become a couple in the story, which is actually nice to see. There's some coupling up going on, some romance in the air and such. The shenanigans in some of these movies that they have. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember Porky's, and that was like full of shenanigans, and Revenge of the Nerds. And it's in the flavor of all that, and it's so great. It's very, very lighthearted. Just makes, tickles you. And look at what they do to this house. Just a hot mess. It speaks of a different time, the 80s. Really, really fun stuff. I had a blast watching this. Thank you so very much, Stunt Brat 77 Smith, for insisting that I watch this, because it was so fun. It was so much fun. And Val Kilmer was a complete blast to watch in this. What a treat. What a treat. Yay. And also I wanted to mention John Grease here, because I kind of had a huge crush on him in the 80s as well. Yeah, I had a very big crush on him. There was one other movie that he did. He was in Fright Night 2. And yes, he played the werewolfy kind of vampire thing, and I always had a crush on him from that movie. Yes, guys. Yes, this was a lot of fun. A nice little movie to kind of cleanse the palate for the next adventures that we are going to be having in space here. For the next adventures. Yes, so that's what I thought of Real Genius. It was real fun. Well, anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.